There is a direct link between tinnitus and sleep deprivation. If you can't sleep, you become very adrenal, and on a daily basis, or if you have sleeping problems for weeks and weeks, what happens is that you start to build up a sleep deficit or a sleep overdraft, which means that you start needing to dip into your emergency energy supply called adrenaline. And so you actually start to become more and more adrenal, which kind of wires you up so that it becomes harder and harder to sleep. And tinnitus is a symptom that tends to thrive on adrenaline. So they can go a little bit hand in hand sometimes when people get really, really exhausted from sleep deprivation and insomnia. Tinnitus can react. So it's very, very helpful to get your sleeping pattern on track. And I'd like to talk about how to do this based on hard-earned experience, having suffered from insomnia myself in the past many times, and having worked with hundreds of clients who found it difficult to sleep. The first thing to say, which is very obvious, is that if you go to the doctor, some medication can be brilliant for taking edge off and getting you back into a regular sleep routine. So that can be incredibly helpful. So do go and see your doctors and get medical support if you're struggling to sleep. Also, visiting a herbalist, they can give you herbs which can be very strong and powerful and helpful and get you into a very positive sleeping mode as well. But there are some other things which are slightly less obvious that I'd like to talk about. And the first thing is that in the evenings, it's incredibly important what you expose your mind to. So please take care around watching things like horror films and the news. You don't want to bombard your mind with doom, gloom, death, and destruction. It is absolutely the last thing you want to be doing if you're struggling to sleep. Tearjerkers, comedies, family films, heartwarming TV, of course, that's great. But even then, you don't want to be overstimulating the mind with rapid input from very speedy films. We need slow, manageable, calming, settling input in the evening. So low lighting, eating earlier so you don't go to bed with a full stomach. Candlelight's fantastic. Having lovely smells, incense, rose oil, lavender oil, those are incredibly calming. The men amongst you, it doesn't matter about your manliness if you can't sleep. It's really, really helpful to just create an environment that's incredibly soothing for you. So your most relaxing music in the background. When I was really bad with insomnia, I got into this lovely routine of having a bath every evening, listening to amazing music. It was really peaceful, like Gregorian chant music. I had one candle at the end of the bath, which allowed my eyes to focus on one thing. Candles are very captivating, and that can help you settle. And the hot water, will naturally support the body, which is very comforting. And more importantly, it will drag all the attention out of your head and back into the body. It's impossible not to feel your body in the bath. That's why it's relaxing, because the water will ground you. The warmth will make you feel your body. This is very helpful. Showers can be fantastic too. And if you can get into a habit of really soothing yourself, doing these body-based activities, like having a bath, it can be very, very helpful. Look at the YouTube video on slow movement. If you do half an hour of very slow movement in the evening, I can pretty much guarantee that you'll feel very tired at the end of it and much, much more relaxed. And this will help you drop off to sleep. The last thing I want to say is to pay off this sleep deficit, try sleeping in the daytime. A lot of people think it's good to save your sleep until bedtime. In my experience, the opposite can be helpful. So in the morning at 11 o'clock, if you suddenly find yourself dropping off at the desk, or you just feel like you just need a quick snooze, I really recommend just having 40 winks. Have a power nap. They're called power naps because if you sleep in the daytime, they can be incredibly powerfully refreshing and good for the nervous system. Do have a siesta after lunch. The body naturally wants to just focus on digesting. So if you lie down and don't do anything but snooze, you'll probably feel a bit drowsy, and this can be a very, very good time of day to just put your feet up and rest. And if you're working hard, it can be very refreshing for your mind, so you actually work better. So taking proper breaks and resting properly is good for your overall work performance. And last but not least, when you go to bed, it's it's a very mental time, nighttime. We don't really connect much with the body. So when you get into bed, it's quite useful to do some clenching, relaxing, or just some gentle stretching, or some body focusing or scanning. That can put you into a much calmer, more body-based state, which means that you drop off to sleep in a calmer way, and that can be very helpful. If you do have worries that are bugging you, and my insomnia was principally this, I would actually put them into an imaginary chest at the bottom of the bed and put a massive lock on it and say to myself, I'm not dealing with that until tomorrow. And then I'd very deliberately start thinking about beautiful places, lovely people, remembering positive experiences, and almost start myself to daydream my way into these places. And very often I would start dreaming about them. So you can actually almost set up the dream state itself by choosing to focus on nourishing, positive, heartwarming experiences. And that can really, really help a lot. So try it out. Try playing around with sleeping in the daytime. You might be pleasantly surprised. I wish you all a really good night's sleep.